Hi, and welcome to my channel, Laura's Library Card. So, good morning, and welcome to the start of a new weekly reading vlog. I'm actually at this exact moment between books. I finished 2 books yesterday on Sunday, and I didn't start anything last night. I pulled 2 cards late last night. They were the Ace of Pentacles and the Sun. And those prompts are: Ace of Pentacles is to buy/borrow a book from your wish list, and the Sun's prompt is to read a light, fluffy, contemporary book. I wanted to pull these cards last night just to kind of help guide my reading choices, and I am not 100% sure. I have a few things checked out from the library, but I'm not sure what I'm going to start next, and I'm kind of waiting for this week's Significator card because I want to see if I can, if it's something that's easily applicable, then I will try to pick a book that is guided by both the Significator card as well as these prompts. But just very briefly, I feel like the Ace of Pentacles is kind of hanging me up a little bit because I don't really have a wish list. Now, you might be thinking, Laura, there's an Amazon wish list in your description. Yes, it's true. But everything that's on my Amazon wish list are books that I've already read that I want to own. So I could, I guess, buy something off of that wish list, but I don't necessarily want to, I want to read a new book, new to me. So I don't know. That's just kind of throwing me off. And then the Sun is read a light, fluffy, contemporary. That's no problem. I can do that, no problem. I have multiple contemporary romances checked out from the library. So I am going to go to work, and I am going to wait until the Significator card is dropped, and then I'm going to be able to hopefully allow that to guide my reading choices. I just wanted to let you know that I had pulled a couple cards, and this is how we're starting the week. This is the things that are guiding me right now. So stay tuned for, hopefully I can update later today with what the Significator is and how it went. Hello, it is time for an update. Yesterday, I think I updated you first thing in the morning. It was in the morning before I'd gone to work and hadn't picked what I was going to read yet. I was waiting for the Significator card. And so the Significator card for Team Wands was chosen, and it is the 4 of Cups, which is to read a book you did not think you would ever read. And I was kind of struggling with this prompt for a minute because to me, that sort of implied to read a book that you weren't interested in or read a book that you don't want to read. But there was some further discussion and some ideas about you reading a book from an author that you've previously not loved, or a book that you've previously DNF'd and decide to come back to, or something that's not your preferred genre, etc. So I gave it a little bit of thinking, and I have 2 different lists on Goodreads. One is a want to read list, and one of them is a long list. So if I look up a book that sounds maybe interesting and I think, yeah, I really want to read it, it goes on want to read. But if I think, I don't know, maybe, I put it on long list. And if I then later look up that book again, and because I'm hear about it again and I'm interested and it's on long list, that second time I usually move it to the want to read because I've been intrigued multiple times at that point. But for the most part, I'm never going to be able to get through my want to read list ever. And so I will probably never get to my long list either. So to satisfy this Significator prompt, I decided to go pick a book off of my long list because it's a book that I basically never really officially planned to read, but still had at least a tiny bit of interest at some point in. So also, I had previously pulled the Sun, which was to read a light, fluffy, contemporary book. And so I chose The Fake Mate by Lana Ferguson, which is an author I've not read before, but the ebook or the audiobook was instantly available, so that's what I started to read yesterday. Now, I only got through the first 8 to 10% yesterday, and let me tell you what it's about. So the premise is that this is a contemporary setting. Our 2 main characters are both doctors, and they're also both shifters. I assume werewolves. It's not super explicitly clear. And I'm also not sure. I feel this straddles the line between paranormal romance and Omegaverse, because I feel werewolves typically, a lot of times in paranormal romance world structure, they frequently have dominant, submissive, alpha, beta kind of designations. So I wasn't sure if Noah being designated Alpha and Mackenzie being designated as Omega, I was like, oh, is this Omegaverse stuff, or is this like just another weird designation in this world? I don't think it's like super, it's not really been super explained so far. And I don't know that that's terribly relevant even necessarily. But the premise so far is that Noah and Mackenzie are co-workers. They're both doctors. There's a little bit of an age difference, but not a ton. And for personal reasons for both of them, they agree to enter into a fake relationship, which will be mutually beneficial. And so he's an Alpha, she's an Omega, and there is lore, there are legends that are told about this kind of pairing and how it's extremely intense and biologically driven, blah, 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 blah. And so when some feelings start brewing during their fake relationship, they are trying to discern whether or not there's actual feelings involved and do they actually like this other person, or are they being driven by their hormones. So yeah, I yesterday got through the first like I said, like 8-ish%, something like that. I'm listening to the audiobook, which I don't love the production of the audiobook. There are 2 narrators, one for each of our main character. And I feel like the person who does Mackenzie's voice is like so much voice modulation, like quirky, and then like it's just like kind of a lot. I don't know. I feel like it's very affected in my personal opinion. And I feel like the person who does Noah's voice like kind of went too far the other direction. Now I feel like Noah as a character is a grump, is a stoic kind of buttoned up kind of person, but like I feel like the person who's just reading his stuff is like, I'm just reading it. I'm reading it straight. That's it. And I feel like they don't have enough voice modulation. So I don't know. I'm not loving it, but like it's perfectly doable. And I will say it is speed upable. So, didn't have a ton to say yesterday and was really busy yesterday evening. I was hosting book club, which went well because we discussed Trust of the Emerald Sea. And so now I got to put that vlog together. Check out that vlog in the future. And then today, Tuesday, had a decently productive day at work and was able to come home a smidge early just because I'd finished in a timely manner. And so today I did make another big dent into the fake mate. I'm almost at 50%. Now, what I think is interesting is that by this point in the book, there have been friends with benefits situation. I don't feel like that's too much of a spoiler because that's in the blurb. It says when the fake mate act turns to a very real friends with benefit arrangements, the line starts to blur. So I feel like that is happening. That has happened, before the 50% mark. And I thought it was good. I thought it was good to read. I thought I didn't think the sex scene was like cringy or anything. I am enjoying I love a good fake dating trope. I love a good fake relationship trope because I feel like even when it's not paranormal or whatever, to me what's so interesting about it is that the characters are like, this is all an act, but like I have real feelings. And then it's like, oh, that person, like they're a really good actor without realizing that the other person is like trying to express like the true feelings that they've so good. So I'm liking it so far. I don't really have any significant problems with it. I remember seeing this for whatever reason. I don't know if it just came out at the same time as Bride by Ali Hazelwood, or if people were just kind of suggesting like, oh, if you liked this werewolf book that is Ali Hazelwood, like maybe you would like this Lana Ferguson book that's the fake mate. I don't know. I don't think that the writing style is like amazing, but I also don't think that it's like terrible. So I don't know. I don't want to read any reviews before I'm done, but so far I'm finding this to be pretty like middle of the road fine. I would like a little bit, there are current interactions between our main characters where they're kind of like, oh, he's not quite such a total grump, or oh, she's not quite as annoying as I thought. But I sort of wish that we would see a little bit more of like their compatibility. Like I feel like we understand and are on board with their like physical, lustful, sexual chemistry, but like do they have compatibility as like potential partners in a relationship? So that's what I want to see a little bit more of. It's not there, it's just still at the start. So I am interested to see where this is going to go, and that is my reading update for now. I do have a few other cards that I am currently pending or have pulled and have ideas for. I'm not sure that I'm going to be getting very many significator points for the major arcana this week, just because I just don't really care very much for this Four of Cups prompt, but we shall see. I'm not ruling it out entirely, but I have multiple things checked out from the library that I want to get to before they expire, like things that are popular that I know I'll have to go back on the holds list for. So it just might be that way, honestly. So, and I do feel like I am pulling cards for my own personal reflections, the hero's journey, that imply that I need to just kind of like do some self-care and make decisions that are good for me. So I want Five of Wands to win and do well, but also like I need to do what's good for me. So there is your long rambly update for Tuesday and my progress on the fake mate. So see you in a minute. Hi, okay, so it is Wednesday and I'm here to give you a little update because today I finished the audiobook of The Fake Mate by Lana Ferguson. So I don't remember where I was the last time I updated you, but I finished it today. I read a huge chunk today, probably like at least 50% of it today. And yeah, overall, I thought it was like perfectly fine. I thought it was fine. This definitely does lean a little bit more Omegaverse over paranormal, in my personal opinion. Just sort of once we finally got to the steamy scenes, I feel like it just kind of leaned that way a little bit. I thought they were fine. I don't know. Overall, I was perfectly fine with this book. I thought it was interesting to have a fake dating scenario. I thought it was interesting to have two doctors who were in on things. I liked the slow development of the are these real feelings situation. I was feeling up to about the 50% or 55% mark that like the fact that these people were shifters and alpha and omega and whatever, like almost didn't really seem to be like affecting the plot very much until then there was a situation that was definitely because of who and what they were. But I think that like it kind of still could have, a lot of the book really could have been structured without the Omegaverse element. I mean, like two people who were fake dating just because, like, okay, I feel like a lot of books that have fake dating, frequently the guy says, oh yeah, I need a fake significant other because like I need a promotion at work, and they will only give it to someone who's like settled and like family man kind of guy. So like, will you pretend to be my wife or fiance, whatever? And I just always felt like that as a premise, that like your business or is going to really like care about your marital status. I always thought that was kind of flimsy, but I don't know, maybe I'm not running in the right echelons of society, I don't know, but I feel like that could have sort of been the situation here as well. We could have kind of had this same book but without the Omegaverse stuff, kind of, just because, you know, she needs a fake date because she wants her grandma off her butt about settling down. He needs a fake partner because of work stuff, which didn't really make any sense, and then they start sleeping together, and that's when like real feelings start officially causing problems. And I feel like that could have happened without the whole like we've been driven to sleep together because of who and what we are kind of situation. But yeah, ultimately the third act conflict came along exactly on time, exactly when I expected it to, and honestly I felt like that was kind of flimsy too. The like sort of like actions of a particular person like didn't really make very much sense, and then they ultimately are like, wait a minute, we can turn this around, and I'm like, yeah, no duh, like so I don't know, I thought it was perfectly fine, perfectly easy breezy, you know, decently steamy. I had no real complaints. I haven't read any reviews on Goodreads quite yet, but the average review on Goodreads, average rating on Goodreads is 3.67, which I think is pretty accurate for where I would put it, but I feel like that's like a little low for Goodreads. And typically I do have generally I have a threshold for like a 3.8. Just because I don't want to like waste my time on something that was lower. Like, you know, when I could have something that's a 4-star, why settle for like a 3 or 3.5? But I did want to read this book partly because I drew the prompt of or drew the card of The Sun, which was to read a light, fluffy contemporary, and this is very much so in that vein, even if it is also Omegaverse. And partly because I wanted to read a book that would satisfy the Significator prompt, which is currently this week, the Four of Cups, which is to read a book that you didn't think you were going to read. So I picked this one off my long list. And so I think it was on my long list because I had heard a little bit of like meh reviews from it earlier, I think, and because of that rating. But overall, I thought it was like perfectly fine and don't really have much else to say about it. I don't know how long it's going to stick with me, but I thought it was cute and predictable and tripped right along. And if you want a little bit of nodding and if you want a little bit of dirty talk and a little bit of very minor power dynamic situation going on, it'll probably do it for you. So there's that. Currently, as of me right now recording this, I have two cards that I have not, that I'm like working on currently. I am actually technically between books at the moment. I know what I want to read for the Five of Wands. I intend to start the Prospects, but for Ace of Pentacles, I don't really know what I'm going to do for that one. I feel like did I say this in a previous clip? I don't care. I feel like I don't particularly have a wish list. I feel like things that I put on my wish list that I want to purchase for myself are all books that I have read and loved, and so I don't want to reread anything. So I feel like I can just count my like TBR as my wish list / I might just slot in a romance for that book, but haven't really officially decided that. So I have things to work on for sure. Hello, happy Thursday. It is kind of late on Thursday night, but I am on vacation. I am going to be heading to Canada with my husband. He has a gaming convention thing that he's going to go to, and I haven't fully decided exactly what I want to do, but I've got multiple books checked out and movies checked out from the library. I really want to just take this opportunity while I'm on vacation to like relax, and I do have some projects and stuff I want to work on, but I also will have time back at home without having to go back to work that I think I can work on those. So I don't know how much B-roll I'm going to get. I want to be both present, but I also want to like remember things. So I don't know. I guess you'll find out. I wanted to give you an update because today, a little bit last night and not most of today, but I am currently at 22, 23, 25, somewhere right in there, % of The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. So the premise for this is that our main two characters, it's a romance, it's contemporary. Our main two characters are, he goes by West, like she calls him West, but he goes by Liam. I don't know, main male character. And our main female character is Anna. The two of them had basically a marriage of convenience, an arranged marriage years ago in college, like literally just for housing, to get family housing. And she thought that they've been divorced this whole time, but he has known that they've been together this whole time because he needed, like, him marrying her for the housing situation triggered his inheritance, but he won't get his inheritance until it's been 5 years. And that's coming up in another couple months, but he's managed to basically never like introduce her to any of his family and kind of get away with a lot of it until now. And finally at a family member's wedding, he can't like not bring his wife. So he basically has to track down Anna and say, hey, I'm going to pay you like a crap ton of money to keep up this charade so that I can get my inheritance. So yeah, and he comes from a really wealthy family, which is why he really wants his inheritance. There also seems to be some sort of secret hidden element here where he's like, there's a loophole in the inheritance law or something. I don't know. So I feel like there's going to be like a big reveal later on in the book, and it's probably going to be part of the third act conflict or something. But the wedding is taking place on a like private island, which is the whole paradise setting. And so Anna is super down on her luck and having a lot of issues and needing the money desperately, which is why she agrees to this whole shebang. And so at this point, at 25%, they have kind of made this arrangement and traveled together to arrive to the island. And Anna is starting to meet all of the family members and kind of see a lot of these like very complicated dynamics that West has with a lot of his family members, and a lot of them are kind of toxic or problematic, or like the people are like yikes. And I don't know, I'm like liking it well enough. There's actually been quite a number of moments, pretty much entirely from Anna's perspective, that in the first like 2 chapters from Anna's perspective, I kind of found her annoying, but I think she's annoying and relatable, and possibly relatable because she's annoying. But I've cracked up multiple times from things that she has said. Her internal dialogue is, I think, hilarious. West, honestly, for me, is kind of the dud so far. Like, he's described as super hot, attractive physically, but I feel like he just doesn't have very much personality so far. He seems really like, I don't know, he just seems really like stuck up and not have very much personality. And he, other than the fact that he has essentially no confidence in Anna, and like they just don't know each other very well, right? And so part of it is that they're going to, I suppose, develop feelings and fall in love, because this is like a fake relationship, which should be one of my top tropes. I'm just like not sold on West, right? I just feel like there's certain moments where he says something and I'm like, oh, that was cute. But then for the most part, I just feel like he's kind of a dud. He doesn't seem to have confidence that Anna can pull this off, and he doesn't seem to have like faith that she's going to try, and he finds her kind of cringy, even though she's really hot. So I don't know. I'm not like totally sold on him as a character yet, which is kind of a bummer, because I want my main male characters to be like kind of swoony in my romances. But yeah, so far the first quarter of the book has been pretty good and pretty interesting, and we're now established in paradise, and so I'm trucking right along. Coming up tomorrow is when we are leaving for Canada on our vacation, and I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to be reading, so it will be a surprise to you because I have not planned it yet. We're going to Canada! Woo! Vacation! Yay! Hello, it is Friday and I am in a hotel. I'm actually in another country. I'm in Canada right now on vacation. My husband has a gaming convention thing that he's going to, and I have tagged along and get to kind of chillax and do my own thing. So, to that end, I am 60% of the way into The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. I don't know if I actually said anything about this book earlier in my previous clip. Time has kind of gotten away from me, but I'm not loving this. I don't know. This is okay. I don't know. For me, this is it's just like not really that interesting. Like, West clearly comes from a family who is messed up. Like they're all super rich. They're not in touch at all with the way to live life. But also the way his dad treats him and his siblings is like totally messed up. Wes has gone to therapy for years and years. He does not have a good relationship with almost anyone in his family. It's just kind of sad. And like, here's the thing, right? West is hot and Anna is super hot. And so the two of them are having lustful feelings for each other. But like, I am just not seeing chemistry, like any like emotional chemistry. I feel like West like is not really in tune with himself. He's not really in tune with what he wants from life. He's not being vulnerable. Well, I guess there's a couple moments where he tries to be vulnerable with Anna, and it just like falls flat for me. I don't know. I just feel like he's this big mix of contradictions in a way that is not fun to read. And Anna is like quirky and could be charming, but I don't know. It's just not working for me. I just don't really buy that the two of these people will develop feelings. And there's clearly stuff that he is hiding from her, and stuff that I think is going to come out with his family. And I just like kind of don't care. I just feel like I just don't really believe in this romance or believe in these characters or why they should be together. And so am kind of struggling. And I feel like this is taking place over such a short time period of 10 days. And yet we're still having like time jumps of like, oh, the last 4 nights were like this. And I mean, I guess I wouldn't necessarily find it very interesting to have party after party after party described, but yet that's all the interaction our characters are having together. So it really needs to be made the most of so that we can see these characters interact with each other and understand who they are and understand how they might potentially work together. So I don't know. I think that right at this point, 60%-ish mark, I think they're finally deciding that they can definitely navigate the an inclusion of benefits on the side of this relationship that is, I don't know, not working in my opinion. And I don't know. This one I'm just like really let down by, I think. And I don't know why, because I feel like it could have gone so well with the setting and the premise and one of my favorite tropes. But I'm just not liking it at all. Hello. It is Saturday, and Ben is away at his gaming convention thing. I'm about to go exploring of my surroundings, and I wanted to give you an update that I finished The Paradise Problem, and I didn't really like it that much. I feel like I don't even know. I mean, I just finished it like 2 minutes ago, so I don't really have a ton of thoughts all ordered up, but I don't know. I feel like this was in some ways sort of like a billionaire romance in that our main male character comes from a rich family and has plenty of money to do with what he wishes. Maybe not quite in comparison to other people in his family, but a lot of this book centers around sort of this poor versus rich dynamic, because Anna is just like a working class poor girl, and so the first half of the book, she really spends a lot of that time just kind of boggling over like, oh my gosh, like this is so nice and this is so expensive and this is so like, this is how the other half lives. And the second half of the book really, I think, kind of takes a lot of effort, like takes great pains to show how the money has kind of ruined this family and how the family is totally messed up and they don't value love and they value the money. And Anna, it seems like Anna is the only person who really can like see that. And as she is working to talk through that with the West/Liam, the main male character, like there are times when he's like, yeah, I see it. I hear what you're trying to say. Like, I'm on board. Like, everything's great. And other times where he's just like, what? And I think that's like potentially interesting as a premise. I think that's interesting to have multiple people who kind of start to realize the wealth and the things that they could be doing. And, by the end of the book, we find out that Liam/West is, he's a good guy. He cares about the average person. He set up all these like funds and giving to charitable organizations and that kind of thing. But like, I don't know, it just, so much of this book like was spent on really showing and showcasing how Liam's family was messed up and how he was kind of in a bad position because of this. And like, I don't know, it just wasn't very, I just wasn't really that compelled by it, I guess. I don't really know how to phrase it. For me, as a romance, this didn't really work. I don't feel like I understood how Anna and Liam connected. I did not believe their chemistry. I did not understand or see reasons other than the like amazing sex, why these two would be together and why I should believe that they have fallen in love. Like I just didn't really see it. I think by the end of the book, we're supposed to understand that Liam is a complicated person who needs a lot of therapy and has complicated family dynamics and is starting to kind of figure things out. But like, I don't know. I just didn't really care about him, and I just didn't see how the two of them, their relationship should work. So for me, this one was just like a big miss and was not very fun to read. So kind of a bummer, but can't win them all. Hi, it is later in the day on Saturday, and I looked up the tarot card information. So earlier today, I finished The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren, and ultimately, I decided to go ahead and use that prompt for the Ace of Pentacles card that I had pulled from my personal draw for the Tarot Readathon. This prompt was to read a book, buy/borrow a book from your wish list. And I feel like The Paradise Problem is, I mean, it would have definitely been something that I wanted to read because it is a book by Christina Lauren, and I've read like most of the books that they've written. But I also feel like it's 2024 release. It's pretty new. It's probably on a lot of people's wish lists. So I went ahead and used that prompt. And even if that's not a great personal, like it was on my wish list situation, it was still a romance, and so it counts because I'm team wands. So it is time for me to pull another tarot card to get a new prompt. And I did not bring my deck with me on vacation because what was I thinking? But I have a random generator here. Oh, it's reversed for you. Also, you can see my camera and the reflection. I'm gonna go ahead and tap this, and we will take a look and see what we get. Okay, so actually I realized that I want the a possibility of with reversals. I mean, I guess it's not super relevant for pulling a card for a prompt, but that's okay. I still want that. So I'm going to Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords reversed. Did I already have that one? I think it's because I just was telling you about Ace of Pentacles, but let me tell you what the Ace of Swords reading prompt is. Okay, well, this is a fun angle. So I looked it up, and the Ace of Swords prompt, the Ace of Swords prompt is to read a debut novel. So, I don't know. I guess we shall see how that works. Hello, it is Sunday, and I'm gonna miss this big window that lets in all this gorgeous natural light, and has a pretty view. I'll take a couple pictures. Anyway, here in the next hour or so, Ben and I are gonna have to check out of this hotel, our lovely vacation home away from home. But the vacation is actually not ending. We are heading to Niagara Falls next. So. I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update about what further reading happened yesterday. I took my Kindle outside yesterday and found a cute little park bench and was enjoying the sun. Well, not the sun, the shade, let's be real. And there was a breeze. And when I opened my Kindle, I realized that the prospects had not downloaded. So there was not a Wi-Fi network right there. And in a park, surprise. And so I had to pick something else to start reading on my Kindle that I already had downloaded. So I started, and I am now 50% of the way through, Found by Imogen Keeper. This is the third book in that apocalyptic series. I read the first two, I think in June, and I was really liking them. I find the whole idea of like a survival post-apocalyptic sort of setting interesting. And this is a situation where there was this huge virus that wiped out 98+% of the population, kind of a situation. So we are continuing to follow our main characters. At the end of book 2, there was some like a bad thing that happened to Frankie, the main female character, and little boy Auden, and York, the main male character, had to come in and kind of like rescue them. And so at the start of this book, and so far, it has been sort of a little bit of their like recovery and trying to work through the fact that they just went through a trauma, the most recent of traumas, since everyone that they know and love died. And so, yeah, there's something about this writing style that I'm finding, it's very casual. It's very like informal. I think it really allows me to get into our characters' heads in a way that I appreciate. And the characters definitely have a attraction to each other and dependence upon each other for survival purposes, but also things are kind of complicated because, she lost her husband who she dearly, dearly loved. And so there is that physical chemistry and tension there, but it's not a super smutty book yet because they're kind of taking their time with exploring the feelings. So at this point in the book, there are new people, and whenever there are people around, you have to take a chance. Do you trust these people? What are their motives? What are they trying to do? So that is also a situation that our characters are trying to navigate, is how to trust or what to do with these new people that they have found, and whether or not they should, tie their boat to theirs. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. It is a pretty quick read. These are, I think, closer to novella length books, so I probably will be able to finish this today. We are going to be driving from London to Niagara Falls at some point today, probably in the next, not long after we check out. I'm gonna have to finish cleaning up a little bit in here so that we can soon hit the road. Hello, I am here to wrap up my Sunday vlog, my weekly vlog. You will have to find out a little bit more about my current location in next week's vlog, because I usually run these from Monday to Sunday. So I just wanted to wrap up here. Last night before bed, yesterday we drove, I guess I did already say earlier in this vlog that I was driving to Niagara Falls, so surprise. Yesterday, Ben and I drove from where we were at his convention stuff to Niagara Falls and got to our Airbnb, and it is lovely. I will put pictures in next week's vlog. We hung out, we swam, we did fun stuff. We went and had a delicious dinner, and then before bed I finished Found by Imogen Keeper. This is the third book in that dystopian post-apocalyptic series that I think I already told you about in the previous clip. But yeah, ultimately I like this one. It is continuing the journey between these characters. I feel like because it's a third book in the series, I can't really say too much about it without giving away a ton of plot, I guess. But basically, same sort of situation. There's these three people, the man, the woman, and the child, and they are trying to figure out how to survive in this dystopian, post-apocalyptic, post-virus that killed everybody kind of situation. Because, of course, there are good people and bad people in the world, and it's hard to tell who is good and who is bad, and who is just trying to vie for power and take over the dregs of society, who is, trying to go out there and start fresh and make society better, etc. So this book, there is a little bit more plot, and we sort of get to see our characters struggling with, I don't want to say mental health, but dealing with trauma, and also just trying to figure out what they mean to each other and how they're going to what they view the future to look like, and that kind of thing. So I really enjoyed it, and I think that there are only 5 or 6 books in this series, so I probably will finish this out before the end of this year, I assume. They're pretty short. They're all novella length individually. So yeah, I enjoyed finishing that, and that is going to, and I did decide to go ahead and use that for, I've had this lingering card. I think it's 5 of Cups, 5 of Wands. I can't even remember. That was read a book with competition or conflict between the characters. And I'm doesn't every book have conflict between the characters? But either way, this is a dystopian romance kind of book, so I went ahead and slotted that in and used up that card. I feel like it's just been lingering for a while, and there you go. So I went ahead and used Found for that satisfaction for the tarot cards, and at the moment I still only have the one that I think I pulled on camera yesterday or the day before when I was in London. So yeah, that will end out this week's vlog, and I am going to start filming next week's vlog right here in the same spot in this beautiful backyard. So come back for a little bit more footage of the awesome Airbnb that we're staying in Niagara Falls, and hopefully later today, it's kind of early in the morning right now, but hopefully later today we will be going to see the Niagara, see the falls, do fun stuff, and have a good time. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.